show you what we are doing in our garden this year in terms of veg. My garden's always been for just flowers, but this year with the coronavirus I just thought I better grow as much food as I possibly could. I think a lot of people felt the same way, as all the seed got bought up, didn't it? Nobody could find any. Anyway, luckily I had bought most of my seed before it all kicked off. So yeah, I'll show you this first. I have to excuse all the paraphernalia, my washing line. But in this patch here I put my main crop potatoes. I've got room at the allotment for, I put 2 beds of potatoes up there, like a first earlies and second earlies. But this is just a patch. It had some old raspberry canes in the past. They didn't produce anything, so I just took them all out. I think I did a video on that in fact. So I put some main crop potatoes in. Can't remember what the type was. Anyway, so they'll be coming out sometime much later. And I'll just go around and I'll show you all the different things I've grown, all just in pots, because I don't have any border space at all in the garden. So yeah, I've got the main crop potatoes. In these two I put some parsnips. I haven't grown parsnips before. They came up fantastically initially, but now they're looking a bit pale and sickly. I have fed them once. I think I'll feed them again. I don't quite know what the situation is with them. The ones at the allotment are doing much better. Yeah, so we'll see how they go. I've got 2 pots of spinach, which look like they're starting to bolt, which is a bit of a shame, because we like spinach. And around the edges of this one I've put spring onions all the way around, and that's worked quite well. They'll be ready soon, those spring onions. These two I put beetroot in there. I've planted them really close. I don't know how well it'll do. My plan is, like Charles Dowding, to pull the bigger ones and then give the smaller ones a chance to grow. In a pot where they're crammed in like this, I don't know, but we'll see. I've also got spring onions round the side there. This one's chard. Something's been at all the leaves of the chard and the beetroot now. I don't know whether it's just all the wet. I'm not really sure. Anyway, we'll see. These two look fabulous, don't they? They're carrots. Again, they're all crammed in, so I'm not really sure how well they'll grow. But it's all just an experiment. I'm learning. It's only my 2nd year doing this, so we'll see. That one, that's some rocket that I put in just recently. What we've got in there? Oh, that's a little cherry plum tree. Got that from Wilko's, I think. In this one, I'm doing quite a few sunflowers this year. So I've got a sunflower in there. I've got, that's a squash in there, and some rocket. I'll go over this side and I'll show you. This one, which has gotten away from me a bit, is lettuce. I can hardly see it. There's loads of nasturtiums and foxgloves that were already in there, but they look lovely actually. Again, I've crammed them in. That's what I always do. I put some chives in there. They're just little so far. That's chard. This is some nice rocket, and then that must be another squash in there, and a sunflower. I've put some peas on that little trellis I had. I usually use it for sweet peas, but everything's food this year. I put rocket underneath that, but it hasn't really come to anything. It's kind of faded away to nothing. This is some chard. I've had some leeks and some chard, but I've taken the leeks out and put them up at the allotment now. This I really wanted to transplant around the garden, but I can't find any space, so I think I'll just keep them small and keep taking the leaves off. I push some rocket in there. I'll show you this stuff next. Mainly seeds that I'm bringing on, lettuces, and oh, that's some more spinach there, but it seems to me the spinach is now wanting to bolt. Trees of all my little seedlings, I just can't remember even what they are now. Parsnips, Swedes, kohlrabi, calabrese, and where that is. I've got my Swedes there, which I'm going to get in. As soon as my potatoes, my first earlies are up at the allotment, I'll get in Swedes and fennel and everything in. I've got some calendula seeds in there, peas in there. Last year the mistake I made was it was my first year doing it, so a lot to learn. I kind of stopped planting seeds early on, and really when I didn't kind of realise that once one border was empty you could put more stuff in, so I'm better at that this year, so I've got lots going on for that. I'll show you some of my pots. This nice pot, I put a tomato in the middle, and the red around it is called Orac or Orach. It's like a red spinach. It looks lovely when the sun shines on it, it's so pretty. I haven't tasted any yet, so we'll see. And there's a spinach in there, some rocket. The spinach is already starting to bolt, unfortunately. I hope the tomatoes grow. I did manage last year to get a few tomatoes off, but we'll see. And that little pot it's got borlotti beans in it. I put it on a little trellis. Again, oh, there's one of my mosaics up there. Have a little look at that while you're on. I make mosaics if you didn't know. So I planted the borlotti beans last year and really didn't get a lot off. So this is the second year. I'll try them again, see if they work, and after that, if it doesn't work, I'll not bother. Okay, going up these steps here, I've got tomatoes. I'm trying to remember the breed. Just the common one, Gardener's Delight, and is it Moneymaker? Something like that. The ones that grow outdoors, anyway. Tomatoes, and it must be oh no, what is it in the front? Cucumber. It's lemon cucumber. They're round and yellow. I grew them last year and they did fine outside. They were lovely, really crispy. And then further up in that one at the end there's a sunflower and some peas. Here he comes to tell us off. Oh, that'll be for the hens. So this is my favourite part. I wanted to do this for a long time, but it seemed a bit extreme and daft, so I've never done it. But again, with the coronavirus, I thought, well, now's the time. So we've got a flat roofed extension on our house here, and there's a big expansive roof which gets a lot of sun. We've got a north facing garden, so that can be an issue for us with lack of sun, but on that roof it gets lots of sun. So I've planted the whole thing out. Do you want to come up and I'll show you around? You can stop that now.
I wanted you climbing up the ladder.
Well, I'm going to, but it wasn't quite right. I'm going to have to fiddle on for a minute. Anyway, don't get me bum going up this. That probably looks stupid going up it.
Okay.
Don't put that in the film. Welcome to my roof garden. What I did was, when you're container gardening, one of the biggest costs I think is the actual containers themselves. We only had so many pots and what have you to put veg in this year. Normally we would have lobelia and stuff like that in. So I noticed down at Wickes, which is our DIY store if you're not from the UK, they had these black buckets, £1 each. So I must have had about 20 of these buckets we've bought. We just drilled the bottoms and they're perfect for planting in. Plus they're not so big that I've got to worry about the weight for the flat roof. It's my daughter's bedroom underneath, so I would run and get crushed alive. And up here I've got, what I thought I would do is put the courgettes and the squash in, because they take up a lot of room at the allotment when they sprawl about. So I thought it would be a good idea to put them up here, and they can just sprawl all over this roof. So they're doing fine, they're doing great. This video probably won't go out until later because Kenny's computer broke, so we're waiting for a new one to come to do the editing and stuff. But it's mid-June here, June, I don't know, 16th or 17th or something. So this is how far on we are here in the northeast of England. A lot less far than other people I've seen on YouTube in England. They seem to be much further on harvesting lots of things. We're not there yet. But I am starting to see some courgettes on these little baby finger sized ones. There's the flowers, that one there's a courgette. So I've got green, I always forget the names of these things. They're green courgettes, stripy ones. I've got yellow courgettes, these yellow leaves, there's nothing wrong with the plant, it's a yellow courgette and it's just natural that the leaves are yellow as well. I thought last year my courgettes were diseased, but apparently not. And I've got squash, uchikikuri and turban squash as well, somewhere about. So I've had one casualty. We had so much very high wind and then torrential rain and also beating sun, a lot of extreme weather, unusual weather, but they've done all right really. You know, I've had one casualty from this pot I think died, and that one there is struggling. I don't know whether it'll need it, but yeah, they're good. I don't know whether I should be feeding them. Maybe anybody who knows a bit more than me could advise me. In a pot this size, if I had one courgette plant, I think I need to feed it. Yeah, we'll have to bring the hose up and water them, or if my son's about, he just leaps up. He doesn't need to get the ladder out, and he leaps up and he waters them for me. But we've had that much rain, I haven't really needed to. These ones, which don't look very well, but actually they're fine. This is just the way they look. I grew these last year at the allotment. They're called not Japanese. I always call them Japanese. They're called New Zealand yams, or oca, O-C-E. They are like little tubers about that size, kind of orangey colour, and you just treat them like potatoes. So they're absolutely delicious. It was the nicest thing I grew all last year. So I kept quite a few of the tubers back, and so I've got, how many have I got? I've got 6 here. And then actually at the allotment where I grew them last year, they've all come up again. I must have left some in the ground. So I'm hoping for a good crop of them because they were so good.
You leave that in.
Yeah, so this is my root garden. I hope you've enjoyed the tour of our container garden, and no doubt we'll give you an update later in the year and you'll see how successful or not it's been. Yeah, we'll see you next time.